US television broadcaster, the ABC, has set up a showdown between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris for September 10. News of the presidential debate comes amid criticism that Harris is dodging formal interviews and press conferences, with many people wondering if the Democratic nominee is strategically avoiding scrutiny. Wow, do you think? Let's bring in my panel, host of the Power Hour, Gabriella Power, and Sky News contributor, Kel Richards. Gabriella, Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. What hope, Kamala Harris?
Oh, it's going to be a big test for Kamala Harris. You know, I believe that she's absolutely dodging questions. This whole campaign strategy is to put her out at events and, you know, link her up with pop stars. And so there are some people there with signs saying hotties for Harris and make it look like she's popular and she's young and there's a vibe about her. But she's not actually answering any questions. It's been nearly 3 weeks since she became the presumptive Democratic nominee, and she hasn't given a television interview. And she was asked that today, when do you think you're going to have time to actually sit down, face some tough questions? And she said, oh, at the end of the month, I'll make some time for it. So in another 3 weeks, OK? So she can just keep avoiding questions, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And it's frustrating that some people are falling for it, are falling for the buzz. How did she go from being an average vice president to the new big thing in the space of a couple of weeks without actually facing any tough questions or even explaining what her policies are?
And Kel, we've got this weird situation in the United States now where we're not hearing from the president, Joe Biden. We're not hearing from Kamala Harris, the vice president and presumptive nominee. Who is running the place?
Oh, well, the same people who've been running it for the last 3.5 years, and they are invisible. They just pull they're the puppet masters. They pull the strings, and it suits them for Kamala to be elected. But it doesn't matter because the mainstream media, the New York Times and the Washington Post and CNN and the ABC, CBS, NBC networks, they all think it's fine, and they keep telling Americans it's fine. This debate, I'm still worried. This debate could be a disaster. There's only one person who can defeat Donald Trump, and that's Donald Trump.
We've got to hope they mute his microphone again when Kamala...
Remember the 2020 debate with Joe Biden, where he kept overriding Joe, interrupting Joe. It made Joe look good. Now, if he starts treating Kamala like that, A, it looks like he's being cruel to a woman, and B, the fact that she's incoherent never comes out because she doesn't finish a sentence. Donald's there interrupting her. He could kill this. Now, I think it's much, much closer. I think it's much, much closer than a lot of people are thinking. And she could squeak across the line and pull this off, which is terrifying. And the person who needs to get his act together, talk about policy, keep talking about the border, talk about gas prices, talk about grocery prices, and not do all the personal stuff, just focus, is Donald Trump. Donald gets it right or Donald loses it.
I think he will get it right. Kamala is not a very good speaker. That's why she hasn't been giving interviews. If she was, they wouldn't be hiding her.
But
and, you know, also
remember
Donald Trump...
the Republican National Convention, he had a fabulous speech. And he kept going off script in order to get back to his standard stump speech. And it actually made it weaker.
Yeah, that's true. But, you know, Donald Trump, he makes some good points. Kamala Harris was all part of the cover-up that a few months ago she was saying that Joe Biden was going to be president.
Correct.
So good luck to Kamala Harris when she debates Donald Trump. I'm ready to see it. At least we're going to have we'll have a candidate that's not going to say things like we beat Medicare. You know, at least it's a fair debate.
I like the way they're trying to repackage Kamala too, because of her silly cackle and the way she carries on. But they've said she's bringing back the joy. See, it's not embarrassing, it's the joy. So that's how they're spinning that.